Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, Dave live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about AEW on the road to Quake at the Lake, Battle of the Belts, and to a sort of greater degree, All Out. So we're sort of on three different roads here. We're going to talk about NXT on the road to Heatwave. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Heatwave's next week, I believe.
Heatwave. And then, of course, first, though, we got a little bit of news. Now, you know, it's been a little while, Larson, since we've had some news on MJF. You remember him?
Yeah, I do. I do remember him.
Anyway,
last time we saw him was a couple months ago when he told Tony Khan to fire him.
Fire me. You can't fire me. Well, Fightful Select has a bit of an update on MJF, reporting that, quote, he has effectively vanished from the wrestling scene. Fightful states that they haven't heard from anyone backstage who has heard from MJF since his promo on the June 1st Dynamite, where he said, fire me. Nor have they heard of anyone in the wrestling business who has stated they have spoken to MJF since then. Fightful adds that there are some in AEW who think MJF is on his way out of the company and wants to end up in WWE. Fightful was able to confirm that MJF stayed in LA after the June 1st Dynamite, conducting on-screen non-wrestling related meetings, and heard he was in New Jersey shooting material with members of the Impractical Jokers cast. A lot of people like those Impractical Jokers, but I mean, like Jericho is doing some, like other AEW celebrities are doing stuff with the Impractical Jokers. Mm-hmm. I was hoping for maybe like a role on Law and Order as like, you know, a rich kid murderer guy, maybe like who are those dudes back in the 90s that killed their parents?
Oh, the
Menendez brothers.
Yeah,
Lyle, the other guy. Maybe he could do that on Law and Order, or a different role in Law and Order. I don't know.
I don't know.
A lot of different roles on Law and Order. Anyways, so yeah, nobody's heard. He's just, he's gone.
Yes.
Disappeared.
He's gone.
He's like Kaiser Soze.
Apparently, I mean, it's. I saw like the last we talked about MJF was a couple weeks ago when Hammerstone did an interview and talked about MJF. But that, you know, was I don't know if he had any conversations in the past, prior to June 1st, maybe, with MJF. They used to be stablemates in MLW, or if that was just his own supposition, or maybe a amalgam of all that. You know, I don't know. But really, there's been no news on what's going on in that whole situation since June 1st, pretty much. And even this is kind of like, well, basically the news is that there is no news, is that he's just pretty much removed himself from the wrestling industry for the time being.
Yeah. You know, for a guy who took great care in keeping the old kayfabe, staying in character basically at all times, like nobody really, it was like a special thing when on YouTube you see a video where it says, MJF breaks character. You know, it's very rare that he steps out of character.
Yeah.
Seemingly, he has taken that same amount of care and to ensure that nobody really has any read on what his next steps are going to be. So, yeah, I mean, seemingly two people know what's going on in this situation, MJF and Tony Khan. And
neither of them are talking.
And neither of them are saying anything. And yeah, Fightful Select, I probably said in your notes here, hadn't even heard of anybody who had overheard Tony Khan saying anything about MJF. And in his press conferences, in those elongated media scrums, he's always...
The shortest answer is when he is asked about MJF. It's usually 2 words, no comment.
No, and then comment. Yeah. Yep. So hopefully MJF is out there doing whatever he wants to do, and
playing some pranks and doing what he wants to do and enjoying life.
Yeah, the Mega Man here says doing some car pranks.
Could be
doing some Impractical Jokers car pranks.
Car pranks.
So hopefully he gets a plum spot on a Law and Order, though. That's what I'm really hoping for, dude.
That's what you're hoping for? Okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe that was one of the meetings he took when he was in L.A.
Boom, boom.
He had a meeting with Dick Wolf.
Oh, that could be, yeah.
About being on Law and
He
Order.
should be in the new Quantum Leap. They start sending it, but he's in character. And they sent him in time, and he's just fucking everything up. Oh, man, that'd be great. I'd see MJF as a time traveler. Just stepping on butterflies left and right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about Dynamite tonight. It felt like we got some story progression.
Yeah.
Team Taz, sad last days, they're no more. Taz, seemingly realizing that he had no idea what anybody in his own faction is doing, just says, no more faction. Pulling the plug. Team Taz dissolved. They're all doing their own thing.
I appreciate the refreshing honesty. I'm out of the loop on Team Taz, but my name is Taz. Therein lies the problem. You can't be out of the loop on a name that, like, if it's Team Steve, and I don't know what the hell's going on in my own Team Steve faction, guess what? You're not allowed to brand my name on your faction anymore.
Exactly. You don't really have a faction anymore.
Right.
At least one that bears your name.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of saw the writing on the wall. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Hobbs turned on Starks. Taz said, I knew nothing about that. Hook answered the open challenge, took the FTW title from Starks. Taz, even though he's Hook's dad, says, I didn't know anything about that either. Apparently, Taz is too busy doing commentary, paying attention to anything his faction is doing. Therefore, faction is no more.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a shame. They never really had a great shirt. I do really like the FTW shirt that you got me, though. I still wear that. I don't know where it is.
That was their best one, and it was all right.
Yeah, it was all right.
That was all right.
But those three guys are actually probably better off without being in that faction. So good for them.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. So earlier today, AEW sent out a press release talking about some kind of restructuring.
Yeah, right.
Backstage, Sanjay Dutt got some new responsibilities, as did Pat Buck, a few others, and also announced in that release was the hiring of Madison Rayne as a coach for the women's division. Mm-hmm. And usually on Dynamite, we get one women's match, and if we're lucky, another segment. Mm-hmm. Tonight we have, and it's usually always at the same time spot, around 6:30. Same time spot every week, around 6:30. This week started at 5:30.
Yeah,
they gave the match about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it was Britt and Jamie Hayter taking on Thunderstorm, and not shockingly, since they give it time, it was pretty darn good.
Crowd was super into it.
I mean, Madison, they announced that Madison Rayne, I think on Rampage, going to have her in-ring debut.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Did they write her out of the influence on Impact?
I don't remember.
I know
Giselle Shaw.
Masha beat Giselle Shaw. Oh, no, that's going to happen at Emergence. Never mind.
Yeah, because storyline-wise, Madison broke her nose, and Giselle was like, hey, I'll take your spot, essentially. And they had that match where Giselle didn't know how to do their finish, and so it really wasn't working. Anyways, so, I mean, without evidence or some news backstage, I don't know what kind of influence Madison has on so far.
It's good one.
But hopefully this is a sign of things to come, where the women's division is not just stuck on the same spot on the show, given 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see longer matches. Because as we saw tonight, it was great.
Yeah.
More matches.
Yeah.
And more focus on telling stories in the women's division. Because there's a ton of talent.
Just sitting around doing nothing. They had
utilize that talent.
Killer tag team. It was like a 6-woman match on like Darker Elevation. It was like, what was it? Toni Storm. I don't know. Nyla Rose. I forget what it was, but Emi Sakura was in it. It was just a really good looking, like, in terms of the talent. I didn't watch the match, but in terms of the talent, like, I was like, God damn, put this on Dynamite, put this on, whatever.
I know.
Let's get some stories. Why have we not seen Emi Sakura really in anything substantial on Rampage or Dynamite? Like, it's been, I can't even remember, like, the last time I saw her on cable TV.
Oh, I did hear about this. Hugh Longheavy says Tony, Willow, and Shida versus Nyla.
Right. Marina Shafir and Emi Sakura. Look at that lineup right there. Like, what?
Yeah, that match should be on Dynamite or Rampage.
Yeah, man. Emi Sakura's dope.
Yeah. So hopefully this is an indication of things to come in the near future, because this match was tons of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was given a lot of time, and everybody in this match delivered. So
yeah,
hope to see more of it going forward. They announced that Thunder Rosa is going to be taking on Jamie Hayter at Battle of the Belts for the women's title. That should be good. Hopefully they give that a good 15 minutes.
Is this whole thing leading to Britt taking the title back off Thunder Rosa?
It's entirely possible.
I think that's very possible. Let's talk about that thing you just mentioned before you talked about fixing the women's division. There was a press release sent out today about AEW announces expansion of talent relations and development team. So there had been rumblings about lack of communication between Tony Khan and some of the talent as it pertains to a number of issues, contract status, storylines, et cetera, et cetera. And he seems to be beefing up his staff when it comes to that. So Sanjay Dutt, QT Marshall, Pat Buck, and Tony Schiavone are all going to have wider responsibilities now when it comes to that. Sanjay Dutt specifically talks about liaison between post-production and key staff to maintain content workflow, produce ancillary content, and mentor new producers. And he'll coordinate communication of AEW storylines. One thing that we both kind of noticed lately is that with some of the wrestlers out there that have been injured that are really, or just gone, like MJF. MJF was very much a story-based wrestler. CM Punk sort of the same. Hangman's been sort of in the background, although tonight sort of changes that as well. Yeah. And in fact, he was involved in what appears to be a solid story now with the Elite, or with the Undisputed I guess the Undisputed Era and the actual Elite, the Hung Bucks, whatever they're going to call them. And so some of, like, it's been light on story lately. And I'm wondering if now we're ramping up to All Out. The staff is beefed up a little bit to help facilitate stories. I mean, I personally think that they could use a writer or two, maybe, as opposed to just, hey, dude fights dude. They both have factions, and then it turns into a war between factions, which is sort of the template, the default way of telling stories there. I mean, we saw that a little bit tonight. Now Jay Lethal and his guys are mixing it up with Wardlow and the Best Friends. And so
here's the thing too: is if you have factions kind of fighting, and then you want to bring other people in, then in AEW they just bring other people in. You know, like, we've never seen any real interaction between Wardlow and Best Friends prior to a couple weeks ago.
He got his, Orange Cassidy earned his respect, and so now he's like best friends with them, exactly. Best friends of the best friends.
So I'm like, eh.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel you. It's the thinnest of motivations for this guy to give a shit to bring the best friends into Wardlow's world.
Party time, excellent.
Woo, 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 woo. So, yeah, I think beefing up the staff, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
It's wartime now. Triple H is in charge, man. Step up your shit.
Yeah, there's been some criticism from former wrestlers about communication issues between talent relations and themselves, and then Tony Khan and those wrestlers. And seemingly, at least this is an attempt to address that. And hopefully it works out for all involved.
All right, let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, ExpressVPN. Larson.
Yes, Steve?
I'm sure you know this because you're a smart guy. But those streaming services we all enjoy have different content available based on where you're located. For example, there are thousands upon thousands of shows on Netflix. We only get access to a fraction of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, watching Netflix without using ExpressVPN is like going to the casino and only playing the penny slots. There's huge money to be made somewhere else. See here, ExpressVPN lets you change your online location so you can control where those streaming services think you're located. ExpressVPN offers more than 90 different server locations. Here's what you got to do. This is it. You open the ExpressVPN app, you select a country, you can hit connect, and bang, you get access to a whole new world of entertainment, and it works on a bunch of streaming services, Netflix, BBC iPlayer, and a lot more.
Yeah, man. The other day I was thinking that I should give the Coen brothers Fargo another try because the Coen brothers are great, but I was never really a fan of the movie Fargo. But
Great movie.
Then I find that it's not on Netflix here in the U.S., so I fired up ExpressVPN and watched it on Canadian Netflix in glorious HD with zero buffering. Plus, ExpressVPN is compatible on all my devices, so I can watch Fargo on my phone, laptop, or smart TV.
So be smart. Stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting access to a fraction of their content. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/GIR. Don't forget to use our link at expressvpn.com/GIR to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, Raycon. Steve, you know me.
You're Larson, yes.
I am Larson. As you know, Larson likes music, and Larson listens to all sorts of different stuff. But lately, Larson has been listening to Prince's Batman soundtrack a lot. And the only wireless earbuds I trust are my Raycon wireless earbuds.
Hubba, 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 who do you trust? Raycon's everyday wireless earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. They've got a great in-ear fit thanks to optimized gel tips, and they've got a couple of different modes as well. Noise isolation mode for when I want to block out the outside world and rock out to Steve Thunder's theme, Sad Last Days by The Observer, or awareness mode when I'm listening to a podcast or music on as background audio when I'm out running errands.
I'm a huge fan of Raycon's 3 sound profiles that match up my audio experience to whatever I'm listening to. Say I'm listening to a podcast, I put my Raycon wireless earbuds on Pure Sound profile. If I want to listen to some prime grunge, like Mudhoney or Alice in Chains, I switch over to the Balance profile. Or if I'm feeling like I want to bat dance, I'm a party man, I'll switch to the Bass profile. And with my Raycons, I can listen all day because they offer up to 8 hours of playtime and 32 hours of battery life.
That's a genuine Joker product. As Raycons are priced right, you get quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. So go to buyraycon.com/raw today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/raw to score 15% off. That's where we get our magnificent toys. buyraycon.com/raw.
Oh, let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah, there's one more thing we could talk about here.
You did allude to it a little bit ago, where we had the return of the Undisputed Elite to our AEW show, and they wasted no time having Adam Cole turn on the Young Bucks.
Yeah, it happened within minutes.
Like pretty much, yeah. I mean, as soon as Adam Cole opened his mouth and started talking about loyalty, you're like, okay, well, someone's getting attacked tonight.
You're right.
And Hangman came out to make the save to help the Young Bucks. He helped Matt up. So this reunion between the Young Bucks and Hangman that they've been teasing on both AEW television, apparently a lot on Being the Elite, is coming to fruition. It looks like that's the team that's gonna be in the trios tournament. I mean, you can pencil in your finals right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cole and Redragon against Hangman and the Bucks.
Yeah.
In the finals for this tourney. And then if Kenny is going to, as had been reported, get involved in this program, this is maybe his opportunity to help the Young Bucks and Page get the win there. And thus, whenever he can come back to wrestle, he's got a feud with Adam Cole just waiting there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. And like you said, things movement and stories, and that was a pretty significant one tonight. So yeah, I thought it was. Could they have milked it a little bit more? Just get to it. We all know it's going to happen. We all know that's going to be the finals right there. So just get a move on. And it made a child cry, so that was cool too. So anyways, it kicked off with Orange Cassidy. Apparently that kid is fine. Apparently, according to Wrestle Talk, put out an article that said the dad tweeted out that he's fine. Once Hangman made the save, it was all good. Stopped crying. So that kid's learning about the power of drama, Larson.
Exactly. That means he's invested in the story.
Shakespearean stories taking place. Kicked off with Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. So they did a trench coat bit. The best friends did a trench coat bit.
That was pretty funny. Pretty funny. I like with these Orange Cassidy matches, they'll get the comedy stuff out of the way in the first quarter of the match.
Yeah.
And then just get down to the meat of the story they're telling in this particular bout. And the story here was Jay Lethal was destroying Orange Cassidy's leg.
Yeah.
And it came into play at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm happy Jay Lethal got the win here. I wasn't sure because Orange has been getting a lot of wins lately.
I was sure Orange Cassidy was going to win this. That's what I was sure of.
If I had confidence points, it'd be a medium high value of confidence points that Orange Cassidy's getting the win here. Yeah. Jay was wrecking his knee. Orange had a hard time getting the orange punch off. He does at one point. Jay ducks it, kicks the back of Orange's leg, follows that up with a lethal injection to get the win. Sanjay and Satnam come down to the ring. Sanjay tells the crowd to give it for Jay Lethal. And he says, I got a question for you. What are your thoughts on Wardlow? And Jay says, Wardlow came out last week and stuck his nose in our business. And hey, if you're listening back there, Wardlow, you might want to come out now because I'm going to put the figure 4 on Orange Cassidy. I'm going to break his leg. Yeesh. So best friends, not in a trench coat this time.
Sadly.
They confronted Satnam on the stage earlier with a trench coat on. They run down the ringside. Wardlow follows. So Sanjay asks Wardlow, oh, you want to have the match now? Well, you're fresh. Jay just had a match, so you can have your match at Battle of the Belts 3 this Saturday. And right. Wardlow says, Wardlow's World, party time, excellent. And it says Lethal doesn't have the balls to do it tonight. He doesn't care when or where. The end result's going to be the same. Wardlow is going to whoop that ass.
Going to whoop that ass. He's going to poop his pants. After that, we had a video package of Hook winning the FTW title. Then we had the Undisputed Elite return. Adam Cole with his nerdy Undisputed Elite Call of Duty shirt that nobody else in his faction was wearing.
Yeah,
Nick's outfit was amazing. All the awesome colors on that thing. It was so great. Man. Yeah. So anyways, Adam Cole, Bebe, is giving us some story time. He says, it feels good to be back in the ring. More importantly, it feels good to be back with my friends because I do have some unfortunate news. I'm not medically cleared, Bebe, but I've taken this time to think. I've thought about our success as well as things we can work on because as a great leader, you figure out what you can fix. Leadership isn't just what makes a great faction, it's chemistry, and we have that in spades. He says, and talent. And most importantly, it's about loyalty. It's about fighting alongside your brothers no matter what. He says, we have that too. He says, I came to AEW because of the Young Bucks. I've traveled the globe with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish because loyalty is everything. He says, which brings me to this trios tournament. He says, he goes to the Bucks and he says, you know, I'd love nothing more than the Undisputed Elite to be the winners of this trios tournament, but I'm not cleared and Kyle O'Reilly isn't cleared. And if you guys don't want Fish as your partner, you just can't do the tournament. And they're like, what? Whoa. He's like, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I said, what I mean to say is you won't be physically capable of doing the tournament. And then Redragon attacks the Bucks. Cutler hits the ring like, what are you guys doing? Fish lays him out. Fish then wraps a chair around Matt's neck. Cole goes up top to stomp it. But then Hangman Page, wearing some butterfly jeans, comes out to make the save with a lead pipe. He helps Matt up, and before there's any sort of actual reconciliation or hug, he just sort of saunters off, wondering what the status is between him and his former best friends.
Yep. Will we get the reunion, the true reunion of the Hung Bucks or not? Of course, they were Ring of Honor six-man tag champs. They were in Ring of Honor.
Wrecked.
As the Hung Bucks.
Yes.
Then we got a John Moxley promo, and he says, tonight the last survivor of the Heart Dungeon faces the first survivor of the Blackpool Combat Club for a title shot against himself. He says, who do I want to win? I don't care. And when I say that, it's not a non-answer. He's like, I honestly don't care, because when the bell rings, I have no respect for anybody. When I get in the ring, I'm trying to hurt my opponent, split their head open, paint the canvas with their blood, and litter the ring with their teeth. Send someone to the hospital, even that be myself. He says the Blackpool Combat Club will make the Heart Dungeon look like a daycare. He says maybe Jericho wins tonight. Maybe Yuta wins tonight. Whoever wins better be ready.
Evidently, Moxley wants to have the superpowers of that one gal on the boys.
Oh, yeah.
Just heads blowing up all over the place.
Yes. Apparently, yes. That seems to be what he wants.
Earlier today, we had a Christian interview in a parking garage. This guy had the biggest stuffed backpack I've ever seen. Usually these wrestlers carry around like little rolly suitcases there, but he had a backpack. Christian. It looked like he was doing the old hitchhiking routine. You know, he's got a giant sack. Anyways, so he says, much like everybody else in Columbus, Ohio, Dark Dank Lucha will like this. Jungle Boy was raised by terrible human beings. And then as he's about to continue running him down, he looks over and Jungle Boy speeds into the parking garage. And Christian and Tony have to get out of the way, come screeching in. And then the security guards immediately take him away because he's not supposed to be there tonight.
No, he wasn't scheduled for the show.
What is this? Part of your notes here? Speeds into parking garage in
rental car.
Okay, they're in rental
Sometimes
California.
I don't type I don't finish typing all the words because so much is happening
in rental California.
Then we had the tag match we talked about before. Britt and Jamie Hayter taking on Thunderstorm. This match was awesome. It was physical.
Oh man, this was great.
It was fantastic. We had Jamie Hayter pin Tony Storm following a Rainmaker, a ripcord clothesline. But it was just filled with all sorts of cool moments. And as you asked earlier, is this setting up? It definitely is at least setting up a rematch between Britt and Thunder Rosa. Probably it all out. Will Britt win? I don't know. Maybe they just want to get back to Britt and Thunder Rosa because Tony Khan hasn't been doing a very good job of booking Thunder Rosa's title reign.
No, it's been pretty bad.
And maybe the thinking is, well, if I go back to that rivalry, it'll hopefully kickstart it, and from there, do more with Thunder Rosa's title reign.
He's thinking, this isn't working out. It's not my fault. It's Thunder Rosa's fault. He's fallen into that Vince trap. He doesn't put in the work and he blames it on the wrestlers. Anyways, after that we had
good match. Go your way to check it out. I'm really happy they gave this match a lot of time and everybody delivered. So go check it out.
Absolutely. We had a Sammy and Ty video package. They're getting married. It was like sort of a Robin Leach-esque voice narrating this. And then Eddie Kingston interrupts it. He says, "What's going on here, Tony? Tony, what's going on? It's a wrestling show. Why are they talking about getting married? Hey, Sammy, congratulations. Nobody cares. Sammy, you get the receipt. TK gave me the contract. I signed it. You sign it. Check your mail when you get back from Paris. Sign the contract."
He does the thing where he does like the Seth Bullock and grinds his teeth and talks.
Sign the contract.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. That's when Taz announced that Team Taz is no more. Dissolved.
Yeah, dude. They just put a camera on him at commentary. He looked dead in the camera and said, I'll reiterate this because it was pretty funny, actually. I'm out of the loop when it comes to Team Taz over here. Look at the name. Taz. I'm Taz. It's my name. So I can tell you right now, Team Taz is no more. I think Starks, Hobbs, and Hook, they're all going to do great things in this business.
Turn into Frank Costanza.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's I was trying to go for George, but yeah, Frank will work too.
So then we got Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ren Jones. This match lasted about as long as it took me to read the names of the participants.
Oh, man.
Hobbs completely destroyed Ren Jones, hit a stampede. He talks to camera, says, "Starks, watch this," lays out Jones with the lariat, just puts a knee on him to get the win. And I love this. So Ricky Starks' music and video package play. And there's a cameraman set up there to catch him running down the ramp. He sprints so damn fast down the ramp, you barely catch him.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Barely catch him.
It was like Nathan Frazer in that.
Yeah.
What's Giovanni Vinci? Yeah.
He just sprints down there. He goes after Hobbs, and like the ref's trying to break him up, so Starks goes and pushes the ref off, and he leaps towards Hobbs, and Hobbs, this was great, seamless, bang, spine buster, catches him right into a spine buster.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
Great.
After that, we had a Miro promo. He says, a little truncated version here. He says, "My God, what can I trust? Did you send a visitor who's been talking to what is this?
Me.
To me. And he says, how can he tell the difference? The pagan relies on costumes, but in the end, everyone reveals themselves, and in the end, the Redeemer will too." So he still hasn't shown his whole card.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do that. So is he going to be friend or foe?
Yes, I don't know. Get it?
Get it.
And then we had Darby doing a promo, and he's got his hand open, and he's got a tattoo thing.
gun.
Tattoo in his hand.
Tattoo gun.
Tattoo in his, yeah. And so he's talking about how he got Brody hired in AEW. And he says the fact that happened is eating Brody alive. He says, and that's why you're trying to build your name off me. And he says, Brody, I just want you to know that you asked for this match. And he showed what he had tattooed on his hand, and I can't remember what it says. Something about Brody.
It was very
closing.
specific. Yeah, it was like, hey, Brody, you're about to be in a coffin right now. Thanks, Darby Allin.
Yeah, and I'm going to close the door. Something like this. It was like a whole sentence.
But like, this is a fairly minor feud in the entirety of Darby Allin's career.
Well, Brody got a tattoo of a coffin with Darby stuff on it.
Yeah, but that dude is literally tattooed from head to toe.
Yeah, I know.
This is on his palm, and it's the only thing on it, and it's just an entire sentence talking about Brody King.
Yeah, I know.
Like it's like a henna tattoo. Is it going to come off in a couple weeks when this feud's done?
Maybe he just kind of held the tattoo gun like this.
Yeah.
And then what he revealed is just something that he had written on Sharpie.
It's just Sharpie, yeah.
It's just Sharpie. So like it'll take a few hand washes, but it eventually comes off. Anyways, he says this is the last thing I want you seeing as the coffin door closes on you.
Yeah.
And then we had
is it gonna be lame at this point if like a month or 2 months from now, like it's obvious that like it's not, the tattoo isn't real and it's already off?
Maybe he starts wearing a glove.
Oh, that could be. But then he's just stuck with a glove for the rest of his days. I'll remember.
No, because eventually he'll take it off and people will forget that he had a tattoo there.
I won't forget.
All right, I'll expect you to mention that then. Chris Cage versus Matt Hardy's next. These two have been feuding for 23 years. That's what I pulled from this match because they said that a lot.
Yeah, Matt Hardy especially looks it.
Yeah.
But hey,
this was a fun match.
Dude,
it was a fun enough bout.
No, they went at it. They went at it. These dudes got physical. In any event, Christian hits the unprettier to get the win.
Kill switch.
Here
he calls it the kill switch, Steve.
It's the same move. It's the same move. So
I mean, RKO and the Diamond Cutter, because the RKO and the Diamond Cutter are the same thing.
Not really, though. Not really. Dude, come on, not really. Diamond Dallas Page never did it with the crispness or the creativity that Randy Orton generally does the RKO with. Those are different enough. This is the same guy doing the same move, man. Come on. Daniel Garcia had an interview after that. Garcia says beating Bryan Danielson was the biggest win in AEW history, not just his career, AEW history. He says he submitted the American Dragon. He is the Dragon Slayer, the greatest technical sports entertainer of all time. Says, Brian, I got your number. I'm going to slay the dragon again. He's going to re-slay again.
Yeah, he's going to do that again. Then we got a video package of Pac defending the All-Atlantic title in Rev Pro, and Kip Sabian was there. And so apparently Pac's probably going to have a match against Kip Sabian at some point for that All-Atlantic title. I feel like Pac's probably going to win that. Then we had Ethan Page. He comes to the ring to drop a promo. He says, I came out here to ask a question. Why? Why the hell am I not on TV every week? Why do I not have an action figure? Why? And while he's talking, Stokely Hathaway is walking down the ramp. He gets to the ring. Ethan doesn't see him.
No peripheral vision.
Yeah. So Ethan says, I deserve better. The crowd cheers. And he's like, why are you cheering? When my shirt goes on sale, are you first in line? No, but you're first in line for Orange Cassidy's new shirt or CM Punk. He says, no, you don't have my back. And every week I'm not on TV, this company's leaving money at the table. So he turns around and Stokely's there. And then Stokely asks him, what is he doing? And this is all like, at this point, Ethan has lowered the mic.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And Ethan says, I need my spotlight. And then Stokely says something to him, whispers something to him, hands him a business card and leaves. And he walks up the ramp a little bit, then stops. Then Ethan, he leaves the ring, walks up to Stokely, and then they walk up the ramp together. And I saw that Stokely on Twitter put an image of Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page, and there's spots on the image for more people to join.
2 more people, probably.
At least.
Yeah. So, Larson, who is going to be the other 2 people in this particular crew? I mean, if it's a faction, a traditional faction, you got a main eventer, a mid-card guy, and a tag team. Now, I mean, clearly, Page and Moriarty at this point aren't really main event guys. But I mean, like maybe in Ring of Honor they could be. But Who could this tag team be? I think was it Brittany earlier said Private Party could be a cool idea. Oh, I think on Twitter she said Private Party.
Yeah, when you asked that, Private Party was the first team that came to mind.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. They need to do something because they're terrific.
They are terrific. Then we got a Daddy Magic, Cool Hand Ange, and Anna JAS interview. Daddy Magic says the fact that Jericho is going to be champion again next week makes his nipples hard.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, Tony says, well, that is if he beats Yuta tonight. And Parker gets the Switchblade comb out and is like, are you being smart with this? And he declares that they, JAS, are the best faction in all of sports entertainment. Even better now, they've added Anna J. And then she starts saying, yeah, I'm the sexiest, I'm the toughest, and I'll choke everyone out. I'll choke you out. I'll choke you out. I'll choke you out. And then she actually goes to someone who works backstage there in AEW and chokes them out. Yeah.
I kind of like that about her new character. I think it's pretty damn funny. After that, when they came back to commentary, I don't think Taz expected to see that. He was cracking up. It was pretty funny.
It was great.
After that, we had the Ass Boys versus the Acclaimed in a dumpster match. We had some of that amazing Gun Club spa music entrance theme, but during that, what's that?
It's very mellow.
Oh, it's so mellow.
Like I hear it, I can almost taste like the spa water, the cucumber mint water.
Oh yeah,
they serve at spas.
Yeah, you can hear the fountain wherever that may be.
Exactly.
Usually there's fountain stuff.
Well, the whale song and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But for a wrestling theme, it doesn't really get me jacked. You know what I mean?
Well, then again, neither does the Gun Club though. So
that's true. I think it's apropos, maybe. In any event, dumpster match. This was fun stuff. Of course, the Acclaimed ended up getting the win here, tossing both the Ass Boys into the dumpster. There's one bit where Caster tosses. So Austin went up top to like the ramp, the entrance tunnel thing on top of it, and he was going to drop something on somebody. And Caster ended up getting up there and surprising Austin, threw him into the dumpster from all the way up top, and then he dropped the mic drop onto the table that Colton was laid out on, and then Bowens picks him up and tosses him over into the dumpster. They close the doors on the dumpster, and then afterwards they roll them off the thing just like Daddy Ass did to Foley and Funk back in the day. And I was hoping to get some update on this because as that thing tipped over, you see somebody started to come out of it, and it looked like the dumpster sort of landed on them. I'm sure they're fine because Twitter hasn't blown up with this, but that was pretty freaky.
That would be freaky because those things are heavy.
Yeah, this was fun stuff, though.
It was a fun match. We got some announcements after that. Mance Warner, who I think I saw wrestled on... Well, maybe it hasn't happened yet, so maybe I shouldn't say anything. Sorry. Anyways, he's facing Mox on Rampage in an AEW title bout. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And also, Madison Rayne, as mentioned earlier, is making her AEW debut on Rampage. You got the matches announced for Battle of the Belts. You got Claudio taking on Takeshita for the Ring of Honor title. They got a video package. Well done. That video package was Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter, and then Wardlow defending the TNT title against Jay Lethal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody mentioned Dexagon's here in chat. We have to mention this in Max and Caster's rap. He mentions he has the line, "Gonna retire you like Vince McMahon."
Yeah.
So, yeah, he made a reference to Vince McMahon. It was very clever. Max Caster's great. I think he's absolutely terrific.
I think they're both great. I'm a huge fan of Anthony Bowens. I think he's outstanding.
They're both terrific. They really are.
Yeah.
Can't wait till they get to
I'm happy now that they found, like the story with the Gun Club together, they were starting to get really over when they broke them up. It was like, well, is this too early? But then you see how over the Acclaimed is getting now, and it would have happened if they'd stuck with the Gun Club as a faction longer, but I'm happy to see them get some wins and hopefully start moving up the tag team rankings and eventually get a shot at the tag titles. Maybe they'll win them. They should win them someday.
Well, dude, what did we just talk about? Like, I think last week, man, it might happen like early next year. We just talked about this. The tag division at this point, like you've got two of the bigger tag teams, the Bucks and Redragon, going after the trios titles right now. You've got LAX aren't a thing anymore.
You got the Lucha Bros in the
Been there,
feud with
done it.
Roosh and
Right.
Andrade. They've been champs before,
They've
too.
been there, done it. FTR is doing the Ring of Honor thing. Right now is the perfect time for the Acclaimed. I mean, I don't know about All Out, but maybe even at Full Gear. You know, like they are advancing up pretty quickly, and they are super over. You want to strike while the iron's hot, and these guys have put in so much work. They absolutely deserve it. I think, dude, it's funny. Definitely. I know a lot of people, including myself, look at Ricky Starks as sort of a guy that could be the crossover guy in 5 to 10 years, you know, the next Rock, and not just because of the superficial similarities there, but he's got that energy, man. He's got that energy. Caster is that guy too. Yeah. You look at Caster and his charisma, he's that guy too, and it might be 10, 15 years. He's going to be a big fucking deal. I mean, 5 years, he'll be a big fucking deal in wrestling, but I'm talking about, you know, an HBO Max original show, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
If that even exists in 6 months.
Then we got our main event, Wheeler Yuta versus Chris Jericho, with Chris Jericho's title shot at Quake at the Lake against Mox on the line. We kind of figured that Jericho would win this, and he did win this. It was a fun match, though. Had Claudio come down the corner. Wheeler 2.0 got involved, and then Aubrey threw them out from ringside. And Jericho won this with a Lion Tamer. I wish we got more Lion Tamers, because that move is awesome. I like it when Roderick Strong does it as the Stronghold, and I love it when Jericho does it. I don't know why. Do you ever got the story why he ever changed from Lion Tamer to Walls of Jericho when he went to WWE?
It's probably one of his books. It's probably in the book where he talks about going to WWE. I almost guarantee it's there.
I don't think so.
Dude, I don't think it'd happen at All Out. But I think we even talked about this last time. The rankings for the tag division. FTR is number 1. Young Bucks are number 2.
Long time.
Yeah. Young Bucks are number 2. Number 10 and Evil Uno are number 3, and the Acclaimed are number 4. You'd think the Acclaimed is probably going to end up being at number 3 sooner than later, maybe even as of tonight, because this is as of like earlier today. Yeah, I don't know. To me, that says, I don't know, who they might be the next ones to take those titles.
I think that'd be great. Yeah. I think that'd be great. You never know what they're going to do in terms of whether they're going to put all the belts on FTR or not. And if the idea is that they're not going to do that, then heck yeah, I could see that happening sooner rather than later. But if the idea is, well, we want FTR to have all the belts, then have them for a little bit. And that's the only reason I said, well, it might be another year or so before Acclaim get the titles.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's if like just the side of them doing the Ultimo thing is really like if they care that much about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, because it's like you're just wrapping up those titles on that one team, and then you have the issue. Okay, well, when do they lose them? How do they lose them? You know,
and the order, and which order do they lose them? Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal too. And we saw,
as we saw with Kenny. With Kenny, had and then he was hurt, and so he probably had to drop that Impact title sooner than they really intended on him. So
yeah.
You want to run through these NXT results real quick?
Yeah, do you want to do that now or Friday?
Yeah, we could just run through. We got a lot to talk about on Friday between Impact and NXT UK. We can try to run through these quick.
All right, cool.
The show opened up with elimination tag match to crown new NXT Women's Tag Champs. This match was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
I quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, and I love that Katana, Chance, and Caden Carter, after what seems like a decade. It hasn't been.
Yeah, I know.
It feels like a long time. They finally got tag gold in NXT. They are legitimately like the longest reigning tag team, just actually being a tag team in the women's division. They might across WWE. I don't know when they formed exactly. It's been a long time. But like I don't know if there are any other like women's tag teams in WWE that have been together the same amount of time.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Maybe.
A quick side here. Zondo has a quote here. It says Jericho wasn't wrestling cruiserweights anymore in WWE. He was wrestling guys like Kane and Big Show, and they were simply too big for him to do the Lion Tamer. So for continuity's sake, he adjusted the walls for everyone.
Thank you, Zondo. That's so nice.
Thank you for looking that up.
That's so nice.
So the order of eliminations here, Leon and Feroz were eliminated first by Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. And then Caden Carter hits Paxley with a slam. JC tags herself in, covers Paxley. Ivy and her are eliminated. And then Toxic Attraction. So Carter and Chance are looking for their finish. Gigi pulls Carter out of the ring. Katana hits Gigi with a splash off the top. JC rolls up Caden in the ring. Caden kicks out, and when she does that, she sends JC towards the ropes. So Katana Chance hits her with the Enziguri, and then Carter and Chance hit their finish to get the win, and they are tag champions.
That is correct.
Really fun bout.
Yeah, after that, we had a Briggs, Jensen, and Fallon interview. The rest.
This was confusing.
Yeah.
It was confusing. Like, Joe Gacy just talks.
That's
he was like,
generally just sort of what he does, yeah.
Because like he's like, hey, Brooks Jensen, you got wrestling in your blood because your dad, Bull Buchanan, was so successful, unlike Cameron Grimes' father. I was like, Bull Buchanan, like he was in WWE, but it's not like he was ever champion.
He wasn't a tag champion like once?
Might have been. I don't know.
But yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah.
But anyways, but then
I'll be honest, I tune out when Gacy hits my screen, dude.
But at the end of this, so Brooks is talking trash to Gacy, saying he's going to punch him in the face. And then so Gacy says to Jensen, you can be there firsthand when I send my special message to Cameron Grimes. I was like, okay, so there's going to be something between Gacy and Grimes later on. But it was a match between Jensen and Gacy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I know. I try not to think too hard about it. Gacy and his
really
dudes.
Make that connection. I mean, I know I'm not the smartest man, but
yeah, they should have. You know, they should have. Did the Grizzly Young Veterans ever? Did they win the UK tag titles?
Yeah.
Did they? Okay. I was gonna say they should have them win those UK tag titles off of Briggs and Jensen. Just keep them in UK Prime, and then go back to UK and have Wolfie be like, "Hey, what the fuck? What'd you do with it? What? Where's your beard, mate?" Anyways, let's run away from that. After that, we had Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams with a promo. These guys are great. Trick says life has been amazing for us since the Great American Bash. We've been stacking dollars, starting drama, and taking all your baby mamas. And Carmelo says, oh, no, not the baby mamas. He says, but most important, we're here to celebrate because it's Melo's birthday. Melo says, all I make is money moves. So the move tonight is an open challenge for North American title. Next person who comes to the ring can step up and get stepped on. Giovanni Vinci walks out, and as he's doing the still screen thing where it says Vini, Nathan Frazer comes sprinting past him, so you see this blur and a smile on the little still shot, which was pretty damn funny. So he bolts past Vinci, and so he gets the ring, and then we get Carmelo Hayes versus Nathan Frazer. It's pretty great.
It was pretty awesome. Really fun match. Melo gets the win. So Frazer hits a suicide dive on Carmelo. This sends Carmelo into the announce table. Vinci was at commentary, and he was actually pretty solid on commentary. So when Melo hits the announce table, whatever drink Giovanni had spilled all over him and Wade. Yeah. And so Trick gets on the apron, distracts the ref. Vinci then comes over, pushes Frazer off the top rope, and Carmelo hits his finish to get the win. After that, we had a really long, they call it a summit. It was pretty much a contract signing. It was just more Jordan Devlin talking about how he's going to like tear muscles and break bones and that kind of stuff. Braun was just being Braun, being super intense. And so it's time to sign the contract. And Wade says, here, challenger always signs first. And JD was like, no, I sense some fear in Braun's eyes, so I'm going to have him sign first. So Braun's like, yeah, whatever. Signs it. And then JD says, you know, this summit isn't going to end in violence, but it will end in blood. And so he takes the pen and stabs himself in the finger with it so he can sign the contract in his own blood. And they cut to Braun, and Braun's all,
he says, you're sick. Yeah, that's your own blood. Yeah. This was goofy, man. Especially got monkeypox going around. You can't be throwing up your blood like that.
You can't do that, no. And so he signs the contract. He offers his hand for Braun to shake it. Instead, Braun holds up the title.
Yeah. I'm not touching that hand. It's got somebody's blood on it. So anyways, after that, the Creeds are warming up in the Diamond Mine gym. Apollo Crews walks in, the time traveler. He says, I came here from the future to wish you luck tonight. I'm a huge fan. And Julia says, hey, we're a huge fan too. He says, you should train with me. And he's like, ha, 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 yeah. Listen, watch your back. Not everything is as it seems. Keep your eyes open and kick some ass. And Cruz leaves, and then Damon Kemp enters. He's got bad news. Roderick Strong is running late, but he's going to be there for the match. Brutus says, look, we got a game plan right now. Julius says, no, look, we got to focus. We can only control what we can control. Yeah. But then Roderick's he tweeted later. So that was
during
good.
like after they won.
Was that a shoot tweet, or did they just say that on TV? I never checked his Twitter, but
I'm sure it's a little bit of both. I'm sure it's a real tweet, but a tweet that he was told to do.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, if he actually tweeted that
out. So then we have Gigi and JC. They're backstage. They're mad they lost, and then Mandy comes over to ask him what happened. Mackenzie walks in for an interview, and Mandy, I do like that part of Mandy's gimmick now is that she doesn't like doing interviews. She doesn't like Mackenzie just stepping up and trying to get an interview all these times. And so she tells her to leave. Her music plays. She has a match against Saray next. She wins that. So Saray hits the perfect plex. Mandy kicks out of that. Mandy hits the spine buster, jumping knee to get the win. She goes and gets a chair. About to hit. She does hit Saray with it. Saray wraps it around her ankle, and then Zoe Stark runs to the ring to make the save.
Mm-hmm. So I forget what the tweet literally said, but he put here, congrats to the Creed brothers, very proud and still. And Apollo, stay out of Diamond Mine business.
I think that's what they showed on TV. It was on the ticker.
Yeah, I remember it mentioning Apollo, yeah.
Then we got Tiffany Stratton video package. It was like her doing a promo intercut of footage of her doing gymnastics. Mm-hmm. It's more just to further the Wendy Chu feud. Then we had, an Axiom interview. I feel so bad for A-Kid.
Dude, I would hope that one of the first priorities is take that fucking mask off him. Make him, just look. Honestly, he can even keep the name Axiom. Have a mask versus hair match with Duke Hudson, but have Duke Hudson cheat to win.
There you go.
And then he gets that mask off him because he comes off like an idiot.
So he's talking about how. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do it. He's very excited to be in NXT. I'm very excited to be in NXT. Tommy couldn't have been more perfect. And then Duke comes in and says, you don't belong here. You're undersized and undeserving. He says, but I'm 6'7" and 265 pounds. Axiom says, I'm not afraid of you, Duke. He says, good for you. You're a nerd. And then he sucker punches him. And they start brawling through the PC into the arena. Duke slams Axiom into the ring, boots him a few times. Such a big boss man slam. Duke grabs a mic, says, that's why they say don't believe in your heroes. They'll always let you down. He starts to leave. Axiom grabs the mic, says, no, Duke, you're wrong. I can make it, and I can prove it right now. And then Duke's like, fuck, what? Oh, we got a match now? Okay. So they have a match. Axiom reverses a Razor's Edge attempt from Duke into a Rana, rolls up Duke for the win, and he beats feet out of there. I'm like, if he's a superhero, he shouldn't have, like, sneaky roll-up wins where he then has to flee the scene.
Well, he's both a superhero and
a fucking nerd.
I mean, that's what Duke said, yeah. And like he's a mathematician or something.
He's a math nerd, yeah. He's a mathlete.
Yeah. So next we got a Wes Lee interview, and he's talking about the comparisons between Trick and Muhammad Ali. He himself, Wes, is wearing a Muhammad Ali shirt, and he says, Muhammad Ali is a legend. Trick is a legend in his own mind. Ali has influenced millions. Trick has annoyed millions. And he says, but, Trick, if you want to show off your boxing skills, let's have a rounds match where you can box, I'll wrestle, and we'll see who wins.
Yeah, man. It's like, who was it? Inoki took on Muhammad Ali, right?
Muhammad Ali, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And
I think kicked, like just laid on his back and kicked Ali the whole time.
he fucked up his legs, I think. Ali's camp was pissed off about that, too, yeah.
Yep.
Because it's supposed to be like a Thunder Lips Rocky situation. Anyways, after that, we had Tony. That was our main. Thought it was our main. Wait, what?
No, this is the end of the first hour, pretty much.
What was the main event?
It was Vaughn and Solo.
Oh, that's right.
Did you only watch an hour of NXT?
No. I just watched it out of order.
Gotcha.
I did watch everything else, though, yeah. So I watched this Tony D and Stax versus the Creed brothers today, and I was like, I watched the second half last night. Anyways. Santos comes back. So Elektra Lopez slides the crowbar over to Tony D, and he's like, oh great, I'm gonna use it. And then he sort of looks away, and then he grabs it as sort of a look away, and then there's a hand that grabs it on the other end, and it's Santos, and he's back. He's got a really nice Hawaiian looking shirt on.
Oh man,
he looks great. He looks very well rested.
He does,
and he yanks Tony into the ropes, punches him with some brass knuckles.
Did he have brass knuckles on for sure? Because I looked like he did when it happened, but then he was backstage and held his fist up during the phone conversation. There was no brass knuckles.
Yeah, no, he did. He showed him to him. He was like, look, this is what I have, hombre.
That's what I thought.
Bendejo. And then he did that, and then Julius hits a slam and a sliding clothesline for the win for the Creed brothers and Still.
Yeah. Then we had a Roxanne Perez video package / promo just talking about the feud with Cora Jade. Yeah, and then Cora kind of responded and says, don't fall for Roxanne's sob story. She wants a match with me to elevate her career once again. Not going to happen. Then Mandy steps in and is like, hey, let's talk business. I need you to take out Zoe Stark. And at first, Cora says no, and then Mandy says, well, if you do it, then you'll get the title shot. And then Cora says, I'll think about it.
Yeah. After that, Von Wagner video package. I'm the street champ. I'll put you down on your ass. That we had.
You've really been working. You've been doing that in the car?
I think so.
Working on your Von Wagner?
No, every time he comes on the TV, like I pause and I do it, and it's so much fun to do. I put you on your ass. We had a Carter and Chance interview. They're happy they got the titles. After that, we had Joe Gacy versus Brooks Jensen. Of course, the Diet are just creeping around here.
Yeah, what is with that?
They're creeping creepers, man. Soon to be outside your window at 2 a.m. Oh, gosh. Yeah, put you on your ass. So Gacy hits his finish for the win. Gacy has a promo. He's still reaching out to Cameron Grimes. I could feel the emptiness in Grimes' soul.
And that's when somebody in the crowd says that Gacy likes pineapple on his pizza. You can hear it clear as day. You actually hear it louder than Joe Gacy talk when he talks.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's literally like the cameraman was saying it.
Yeah, that was great.
And then they go backstage, and then there's Grimes, I would guess, with a bunch of other PC recruits. And there's a guy that stand next to him and says, I think he's talking about you. I was like, well, no shit. He mentioned him. You mentioned Grimes by name.
It's multiple times throughout the episode, and specifically during that promo. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then didn't Grimes get wasn't he collateral damage in that main event backstage?
Yeah, he was. He was.
He had a bad night, man. He should have stayed home.
Yeah. Well, he's had a bad several months.
I'm calling in sick. What do you have? An aversion to being at the Performance Center. I'm allergic to that fucking place.
And he says, I'm allergic to wins of late.
After that, we had Tony D on the phone. He hangs up. And he said, it wasn't for Santos, I'd be North America. I wonder if he's talking to, what's his fucking name in AEW now? Cole something or another? Carter? Is that his name? Cole,
Cole Carter,
Yeah, Cole Carter. Yeah. He said, I'd be North American champ and tag champ. And Stack says, we were all in on it, man. He says, even Elektra. After all we did for her, what's next? And then Tony gets a call in at Santos. He says, hey, tough loss tonight. He says, after you put me in the hospital, he says, we're almost even. He says, look, dude, it's clear we can't work together. You can't work for me, and I can't work for you. And Tony says, yeah, we can all agree on that. This has to come to an end. One final meeting, just Santos versus Tony. Santos says, you're on. Just tell me where. So I wonder if Elektra Lopez is like, man, I've done all this work at the docks, and now it's just going to sink back to an oblivion.
Oh, she seemed in on the whole thing because after Santos punched Tony,
she was laughing. Yeah, she was laughing about it, but still, you got to think she took pride in her work, man.
I know, and that's why part of me thinks that we're going to find out Legado has all of Tony's enterprises.
Oh, that'd be cool.
At the end of this.
Yeah, that'd be neat. That'd be good.
Then we had Alba Fyre versus Lash Legend. So Alba goes up top. Lash punches her. She's looking for a superplex. Alba fights her off. She jumps off the top rope. Lash evades and grabs Alba's bat, takes a swing. Alba ducks, super kicks, gory bomb, and a swanton. I swear she had to jump halfway across the ring to get the win.
Her swantons are awesome. They're so because she flips at the last second. It's great. Mm-hmm. Afterwards, Trick lays out the rules to his match against Wes Lee. And then wait, what is this?
So he's laying out there in the parking lot, and he's talking to Mello.
I must have been out of the
oh,
for a
okay.
second.
So then the woman comes up to them and asks if they know how to jump a car.
Oh.
And so the camera pans over, and there's like 3 other women at the car, and so they walk over. It's just to set up them being outside, so Solo can hip check Mello into the car.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, all right, yeah, I missed that. I caught this one though. Nikita Lyons talking about, I'm proud where I came from. I've dealt with people like Kiana. What is it? Kiana James? Is that her name?
Yeah.
My whole life. This is who I am. I'm not changing for anybody, especially you, Kiana. If you want to change my mind, I'll be waiting in the ring. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna fit in that. She said, I'm not gonna fit in that little box of yours. And I know she meant it as a metaphor, but it'd be kind of funny if she's like in a little tiny box. Kiana James has some sort of shrinking powers.
Oh wow.
And she's like,
all that time crunched the numbers, and she came up with some sort of shrinking ray. Is what you're saying, huh?
Like, hey, somebody let me out of this box. Oh, stupid. I'm sorry.
Then we had our main event, Von Wagner versus Solo Sikoa. This is a fun match. Solo gets the win, hitting a splash through the announce table on Von. There were some really fun spots. They're out in the parking lot, brawling out there, and Solo walks up to Mello and Trick, helping the women out with their car, and he just checks Mello into the backseat of the car.
Yeah. Take a seat, jackass. I don't give a shit.
And then later on, he hits a Uranagi on Von on the ring staff. That looked nasty.
Yeah, it did. How about that time I put him in the dumpster? That was great too. And he put him right in his ass in the dumpster, and then he came out of the
dumpster match, though, Vaughn. You turned around and walked away, and he came out.
Hey, I won the dumpster match. I don't give a shit.
Bag of trash in your face, Vaughn.
Yeah, I no-sold it, though, but I won that dumpster match.
No, you sold the shit out of it.
No, not really. He sort of was like this, and then he like moved it away, and then he went back at
he stumbled around like he got hit with there was a toaster oven in there.
I've had some heavy bags of trash come out of my kitchen, man.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
There might have been a toaster oven in there. You never know. Maybe it burnt out. Good thing.
Maybe someone had the not just the toaster, but like the oven, the door that you open up.
Should Nikita Lyons' new phrase be "Make America Lions Again"? Sorry, I meant to say that joke like 3 minutes ago. Sorry, not sorry.
And that was NXT.
That was your NXT. Let's take some questions. Oh, boy.
How many questions could we get in before Steve's internet?
I know. Luckily, we already recorded our ads, but I don't know what it means about actually uploading the episode tonight.
Yeah.
Alex Foster says, if you guys work for... Yeah, so by the way, at this point in the podcast, if my internet dies, that's it. It's just going to go... It's going to go to the end card and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just do this now. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
All right,
we'll try to answer some questions.
Yeah.
Then.
Alex Foster, if you guys work for Tony D, what would he constantly say you're good at? Like when he tells Legato that Electra's good at the docks. Hey, you got to kill a Von Wagner impression.
Yeah, that could
Thanks,
be
I don't give a shit.
I don't know. I really feel like I'm that good at anything, Steve.
Oh, man. He'd say, hey, you had a good jumper today. He said, we should make America Larson again.
Don't do that. No, don't put my name in anything like that. Don't do that.
The Yellow Flash says, I just moved to SoCal. I never had Del Taco. What should I have for my first visit? Your first and every visit should be loaded with chicken soft tacos.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Taimur Rahman says, if Stephanie were to come back on screen and mentor somebody like Vince did with Theory, who from NXT 2.0 would you bring up to be in the Theory role? If Stephanie were to mentor somebody like Vince. Well, I like Stephanie when she was a bad guy, so I'd want it to be a bad guy.
What Tiffany Stratton?
Oh, that's a really good one. I think she's really good. I think she's
really good too.
Yeah. Xavier Gray under Triple H's new creative regime. Which NXT superstars will most likely lose their push, and which ones will receive a push on the main roster? They need.
I mean, already.
They need to do something different with Gacy. He's too talented to be doing this stuff, man.
Yeah, I feel that way about Duke Hudson too.
I agree. I
already feel like Von Wagner's push, whatever that was, has fizzled out.
Yeah.
Back to the drawing board for a character for him.
I feel like Carmelo and Trick are going to be just fine.
Oh yeah,
they'll be.
I feel like they're going to be fine. I feel like Braun will be just fine.
Yeah. Hugo Longheavy, did you just steal that question from the last question thread we did, where we answered that question?
Yeah, we've answered that question.
We've answered that question. It was funny the first time. Shavon says, with Miro's ongoing feud with God, what other deities should wrestlers feud with?
They had that new Thor movie come out.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Christian
Why not
Bale's character.
some Norse gods from Norse mythology? Delaney here in chat says Athena, the fallen goddess, versus the Athena of Greek mythology.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good question from the Enforcer. You teleport Hangman Adam Page into the show Deadwood. Give me 2 wrestlers he teleports with, and who do they feud with first?
That's a great question. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank right now.
I feel like Hangman should feud with Cy
Tolliver.
Cy Tolliver, sorry, yes.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. How about this? No, this would be good. So Hangman and Grizzled Young Veterans, before they were the Dyad.
All right.
They teleport and they feud with the Grizzled Young Veterans feud with Kristen Bell's character and her brother.
Okay.
Because they're all grifters. And then Hangman feuds with remember when they brought Wyatt Earp and his shitty brother?
Yeah.
To Deadwood for like a special episode. It was so weird. Yeah. It was like some weird crossover, and they were crap. Of course, they were written like crap, and like Seth Bullock was like the better version of them. Hangman would feud with Wyatt Earp because he's crap.
All right, there you go.
Or with the Coward McCall. How about that one?
Oh, there you go.
Forcer's laughing. Let's see here.
Let's get one more in.
All right, one more question here. Frank Penguin says, with Stokely recruiting Ethan Page, do you think Lambert is finished as a regular in AEW? I don't know what the status is of Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, I don't know the severity of his leg injury.
Yeah, he tweeted out like goodbye for now or something like that. So I don't know what the status on his leg is, nor his status on his contract, really, because I don't know. His might be coming up too. He was one of the first people to sign him with SCU.
That's true.
So I don't know what his entire status is, which, you would think. Like, I don't know. We haven't seen Paige Van Zandt past that pay-per-view either. So I'm not sure.
She apparently signed a deal with AEW. So
that's what I thought, yeah.
All right. She got the graphic and everything.
Well, that was a fun episode. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We appreciate it. Tomorrow, Smash Zone at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
9, yes.
Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonator Phil McDonald, here to tell you to go support Going In Raw and Friendo Club at patreon.com/Steven Larson. They got bonus episodes, ad-free audio, a weekly newsletter rounding up the week in wrestling news, and a bunch more. Patreon.com/Steven Larson. Go support or get hit with a stunner.